Welcome back to Lost Odyssey. Alright. Time to take it straight to Gongora. So first things first, get back to the Numara harbor.
First thing we need to do is send them a calling card.
Let's
You are
go
a
get-
poopy head.
Let's go to the dock and get our boat that looks like a boot.
If anything, I think I mentioned when it first showed up, it reminds me more of the Nautilus design from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen movie.
Really? I think it looks way too bulky to be that. Like, the Nautilus from the movie was like thin and razor sharp like the Buster sword.
Yeah, Captain Nemo literally called it the Sword of the Sea.
Okay.
Alright.
Sorry, fellow citizen, I must go quickly. As
Exactly.
Sonic
Our
says.
hero!
Alright. Fortunately now we can just leave the city and go straight to the port.
So, I guess we can assume that Kakanis is dead?
You can assume he was imprisoned, I'm pretty sure.
Bummer.
I mean, given that we saw his tank blow up and we haven't heard from him since, I guess, yeah, either
That is
dead
true.
or...
That is true. Or we can also assume he died with the blowing up tank, since we never see him again, I guess. So, take whatever.
I would have personally just added a cutscene of them putting him in jail, but either way, he's done.
Maybe it's a situation similar to Grandmaster Norg, as you can find.
Just do what you like.
Thank you.
Then.
It's nice of you.
You guys aren't being sore losers that we beat.
Alright, you're actually
Kakanis,
supposed to
are you?
go in here, in this specific corner. This is something that can really fuck you up when you're doing a new playthrough, because, like a blind playthrough, because it's such a very specific spot in the port.
You would think you were supposed to just head right to the boat, but, well, I guess this is the way to it?
This is the way.
This is indeed the way, so let's
This
board
is
the
the
ship.
entrance to the White Boa. Very well, sir. Watch your step.
Okay. Loading. Oh yeah, now you get to see.
There, of course.
Now you get to see the. Okay, thank you. I don't think we really needed to see that, but
What is this Star Trek the motion picture?
there you go.
We need to have like
Welcome to Pipes, the video game.
a 5-minute sequence where the characters slowly get to the ship.
Gongora repaid Goatsa for attacking his coronation ceremony. Having seen this, the citizens of Uhra have become devout believers in Gongora and the Grand Staff. There are those who speak out against him, but they are few and far between. What Uhra does next is going to decide if the whole world descends into war or not.
Okay.
During our investigation, the Grand Staff was located on the Sea of Bows.
So we're just playing as Jansen now. Wow.
That's
While turning the energy of a Sea of Bows hypercurrents into magic power, in other words, recharging.
because we're about to get a big scene with involving
Now that
him.
Gongora has used that energy up in Uhra, he may return the Grand Staff to the Sea of Bows in order to recharge again.
Yeah.
It's so surreal seeing Kaim as an NPC to talk to.
You have to remember... Hold on.
Where's the Grand Staff flown off to now? Our first job is to find it.
That is true.
You have to remember, Joel, that even in the dreams, Kaim only speaks sporadically. A lot of the times in dialogue you see Kaim remaining silent,
There's-
People of Uhra accepted Gongora as their king, ultimately because of my failure. But I will not allow Gongora to get away with any more.
Well, it's not so much just that, it's the fact that normally whenever we have a group section, it's usually Kaim we play as.
Where are Cook and Mac gone off to now? Those children crawl into everything. Don't worry, before you ask, they're still in the ship. Don't worry.
What a kid! What do you think?
Okay. Remind me, Liz, what's the name of the actor playing Jensen?
Adventure 1 calls...
Yeah, I know that.
I feel like it started with a T.
But Michael McGahan. Oh no.
Alright, I'll go with Michael for now, because that second name is very hard to pronounce. I'll give him some lots of credit in a moment after this scene. Alright, so let's talk to Ming.
I'm flying, Jack.
It's literally at the bow of
No,
the ship with
I
a
can-
sunset and everything.
I can imagine.
Come on.
I can imagine there's probably some inspiration, yes.
Oh, she's even doing the pose like Rose did before the flying one.
Yep.
Which, you know, again, to give him credit, tons of people really take homage from Titanic. Heck, even Kojima pretty much based off some of his characters, Jack and Rose.
Remain in this world for his own selfish ends.
Not about him. About you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to stay and save Numara?
There's something else to stay for, too.
Oh. For a moment, I thought his foot was gonna pop.
Did we tell them we can see them doing this from the pilot house?
Actually, Jova, put a pin on that.
No, let's just leave her.
Very good, Webs. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a good punchline.
Now, I absolutely love Michael's performance in this entire scene. Again, considering most of his acting is improvised, it shows how gritty he is at it.
What?
For once, he's speechless.
A bum? Like me?
Says you're a bum.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to this, you know, getting serious like this, and well, I mean, you.
So what, has the whole act been a coping mechanism the whole way?
You can kind of interpret that way.
Own your own country, you know.
Jensen is a king, you know, that's a fault to be scared by.
Oh boy. He'll be the most progressive king of all history. He will completely change the system from the inside out.
I'm just, you know, just a regular guy. You know, good sense of humor.
Just some guy who's just some guy who's just some guy.
You, I don't know what to say.
Which, okay, I'll be honest, I could totally see
Yeah,
Jansen
shut
saying
up.
that.
So queens shouldn't fall in love?
Oh. After all, love can bloom on the battlefield. What's the matter, Jansen? Are you afraid of being tied down?
Commitment? No!
Okay.
It's like with the Goonies. How long have you been hearing long enough, Jensen?
Kids.
Kids, am I right?
Kids.
So that's where they are.
How do you know?
Just drag them by the ears.
Yeah.
She likes you.
Oh, you little shit. Yeah.
He's blushing. You're so cute.
Dang! Come on!
For all time's sake, Joe.
Is the guy for you? He's the only one for me.
I guess that makes him your uncle now.
Alright, here's a CG cutscene with the White Boa, why not?
Yeah, it does actually shape like a shoe when I see it like that.
And yeah, the Nautilus will be docked in a little door thingy that happens. That conveniently is there.
So did Cinderella design this ship?
I would say more Starfleet because it reminds me of the impracticality of the starships of like the Enterprise, where like if you're stuck in one of the appendixes, you have to go all the way from the saucers to the other section in order to get there.
So there you go. This will be our final vehicle, the White Boa.
It's an icebreaker.
Literally. All right.
White Boa.
Teo, it'll be this one.
Ew, I'm so glad they found us Lennos. I thought for sure General Kakanas would kill me after.
Maybe this ship is no longer necessary without Kakanas, but I still love her all the same.
Oh yeah, that's right, the Slant Nose. That was the first ship we took.
Anyway, I'm glad we got it back in one piece. Now we just need an engine and we'll be back in business. Jova?
Hey, it's the
Hey, it's
slant
a slant
No,
nose.
that's Seth, not Seth.
You guys got her back. You guys got her back?
Hey, you're the guy from before. We're gonna give you this ship. No way.
Dude, did you not get the memo?
Well, we don't really want it because we got a new one.
Now it's you,
Bummer.
now it's you, Dubs.
Hold on a second, Mama. Take a look at that engine.
Ah, you're right. Hey, you! Give that engine back to us.
Huh? What are you talking about? We took this from a fish, you see. Yeah, funny story.
Don't give me that tall tale. If you find something someone dropped, you're supposed to return it to him. So give us back our engine. Come on, can't you see how thankful I am that you found it?
Trust me, dude, they're pirates. You don't want to mess with them.
Said, I don't think you're doing a good job convincing them of that. Remember, what did I tell you? How do we usually get stuff back?
You say please, Seth.
Say please and use your manners.
Yes, and if they refuse, then we do the pirate thing and kill them.
We'd be in business.
Dubs?
What kind of business
Well,
Hey,
it's,
Oh, sorry.
was she really go that fast?
Yeah, she'll be faster than the White Boa. Ha! And she'll be able to jump again.
Whoa, amazing! Then we'll really be the flying pirates. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's right. The Slant Nose was at some point Seth's ship. Kinda.
Mhm.
Sorta.
Okay, so here's the White Boa navigation tutorial. While on the sea, the White Boa controls work like those of the Slant Nose, in fact. To move backwards, press X while moving. To make the world map menu appear, click the right stick and move the closer to the closest landing point. The White Boa can navigate through certain ice fields where the ice is relatively thin, as demonstrated in this picture. The White Boa is equipped with an internal hangar for the Nautilus. While in the Nautilus, approach the White Boa and A store will be displayed. Press the A button to store the Nautilus in the hangar. With the Nautilus in the hangar, B launch is displayed on the bottom right. You may press the B button to launch it at any time. So basically for any things that the White Boa might be too big to go for, use the Nautilus. Press the right button to go to the pilot house of the White Boa. To bring up the navigation screen, approach the pilot seat and select yes, as demonstrated there. When you are in the White Boa, you can save your game or shop at all times, because there's a convenient shopkeeper in here that will sell you shit.
just to be sure.
Yes. Yeah, now,
Alright, now let's get this baby into action.
the powered-up Nautilus has the ability to jump into the air.
Huzzah!
To control the Nautilus, use left stick. When the ship is moving fast enough, X jump will be displayed on the bottom right. And then, quoting Leander from Ni no Kuni 2, how can that be? Have you perhaps not heard of a boat that can jump before? When X jump is displayed, hold down X to make the Nautilus soar into the air and jump over certain land masses. While in the air, you have the option of landing directly on the water by pressing X. When X push down is displayed on the bottom right. I'm actually wondering, Terry, if Hino played this game and this is where he took it for Ni no Kuni 2, maybe. Okay. No, thank you, game. I'm good. Alright, so... But first, let's move to the nearest disembarking point, right here. Because... As you can see, the map is some new locations.
Which means more side stuff.
Because the best place to go into the next major point of dungeon is actually through here, through the western shore of Uhra, rather than where we are right now. There you go. And now we just go. Alright. Let me just turn in the camera. And as you can see, right there, Grand Staff, right there. And I mean, it's not exactly hard to miss considering the black fog around it. So, all right. Sorry,
Don't worry. You won't. Don't worry. These eyes won't miss. Where is it?
Right ahead of us.
Oh shit! We're gonna crash.
And then all of a sudden, like a giant storm.
Well, they had mentioned before, but now Grand
And
Staff
then
is
a
around.
giant storm suddenly showed up and nearly killed everybody.
The end.
They had mentioned previously that, that storms were surrounding Grand
That's
Staff.
magic energy. It's storing up power like a living creature. It's getting stronger. I've never felt anything like it before. Whoa, that's really creepy.
Thank you, Cook.
Hey, you're not crying, are you? This isn't the time to be crying.
This is the time for justice! Vengeance!
And together we can be justice.
Can we get any closer?
Oh, we give
justice.
Okay. All right.
Alright then.
Time to
Say so.
time to start the well, technically 2 final dungeons of the game. Like it's kind of like a 2-part dungeon. It's a bit hard to explain. You'll see. For the Grand Staff, you cannot return to this point. So yeah, we have reached end game, ladies and gentlemen.
All according to plan.
Thank darkness.
Cool!
Now go and take care of them while I continue to laugh evilly.
Why do you do that, sir?
And here it is, Grand Staff. Alright, so unlike the first Grand Staff dungeon we explored back in the beginning of the game, this one is definitely much more elaborate. In fact, it's kind of like a maze in a lot of ways.
It seems Gongora remodeled the place.
Mm-hmm.
That or we just came in through the back door, so of course it's going to be tougher to get to him.
Okay.
When there is no time to waste, indeed.
There are a good amount of gimmicks. Like for one, there's steam. There's going to be later points where we have to turn off the bits of steam to get through. There's also going to be a rotating platform later on. This is going to be a bit. All right.
Well, final dungeons aren't often known for their levels of ease.
Exactly.
Oh, you might have noticed one thing, Jova. I was going to wait a bit, until the final thoughts, but you can see it that probably because of the ambition behind making this game on, on more powerful hardware. Unfortunately, one of the drawbacks is that a bit similar to Final Fantasy 13. While this game definitely opens more up and there's more side stuff especially in variety compared to the first 13. The story basically leaves you not that much room to breathe. If you compare it to previous Final Fantasy games, this is more akin, for example, to 9. But even so, in 9, it was only the first 2 major discs and the start of disc 3 that had your path on a very linear with only minimal branching, optional side stuff. But after that, you were opening a certain way, you know, to the stuff, to the side stuff, up until to the end of the game.
Basically, when you get the Elder Guard free, basically.
Yeah. In here, you get, well, wait, already with the Blue Narcissus in a way.
I guess.
But in here instead, you're basically already almost at the end of the game. You would think that the game will actually have a bit more, and because especially, again, even if Pedro doesn't showcase it, this is the point where the game opens up to all of the other stuff that you can do, you know. And it's not a lot, but it is, you know, some stuff, you know, to the degree. Like I said, it's better than 13. But still, we're almost at the end of the game nonetheless. So, you know, it's still a very, you know, railroaded type of game.
I do understand what you mean. It all, like, it's not always the case for me, but I can find it a bit weird where sometimes you only really get to have freedom sort of at the end of the game, which admittedly does mean that sometimes the side stuff that becomes available at that time can kind of clash with the tone of the end game.
I mean, mind you, no, this is still compensated by, you know, the consistency with the writing, because again, in comparison, we have Blue Dragon did have, you know, was actually more generous with the side stuff, you know, at different points of its story, you know, it was actually more distributed well. But since the story was more banal, and as a result also the side stuff was more banal, there wasn't that much to bask it with.
This game definitely is more on the quality over quantity spectrum.
Well, rather than quantity, I would say pacing.
Sure. Well,
it's still a point nonetheless.
The same basic
I can
principle.
definitely see what you both mean in the sense that, like, this definitely feels like the much more better put together game. It is noticeably, I don't want to say noticeably, but
it's
you
a
do feel like
typical
there's something that's...
While not for a reason you may think, it can be defined as a product of its time, as in a product that probably could have only been made on this generation of consoles.
I definitely do get that inkling that they did focus a lot on the look of it. Now, mind you, that is not me saying that the game itself is bad or, heck, even too lacking, essentially. But I do get somewhat that feeling that, you know, it feels like there could have been more if they balanced stuff out better.
It's two things. One, you can tell that Microsoft didn't give this game the same budget they gave to a Gears or a Halo at the time. Yeah, the game is high budget enough, but it doesn't. But you can. But remember, the fact that it's not fully voiced, of course, shows that definitely didn't have as much budget as some of the other games you can think of. Like maybe probably even the Fable games. Were the Fable games, the 360 ones, I mean, fully voiced?
I don't recall those being fully voiced.
I don't remember. I can tell that they were paced better in terms of having side stuff going along with the main plot.
There's also the fact that you guys just bring up Blue Dragon. It really demonstrates that the time, resources, and budget spent on making that piece of crap would have been better spent on making this game better. To be honest with you.
Okay. Like Tio mentioned in an earlier part, though, to be fair, it does seem like Blue Dragon was the one more set out to be a franchise, whereas it sounds like this game more or less ends on a good one note, essentially.
Yeah, this one is more of the pet project, it feels. It's just the...
So mind you, from...
I just wish... I just can't stand Blue Dragon.
Oh, no, trust me, I don't blame you. Like, look, none of us really liked the game, and God, when we checked out the anime...
The things that I happen to like now are not really enough to say to reevaluate the game. I just happen to, you know, like some stuff more than when we did the run, that's all.
Like, you know, look, I will be the first one to admit that I love Eternity unironically now. Like, it used to be ironic, but now I unironically love it. I still do also acknowledge how cheesy and in some ways bad that song is. I still want to
know what kind of connections, you know, the studio or I guess Microsoft had in order
Microsoft
to get the
money
of okay, no, I mean in terms of actual, not just money, in terms of actual connection to get the singer of Deep Purple to do that. It feels very specific. Like, was it like a specific request of Uematsu? That's one thing that I would like to know in the interview.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't we already talk about that Sakaguchi is a fan, and that's why? I'm pretty sure we talked about this.
It's been a long time since we Blue Dragon, so sorry.
No, I'm pretty sure the reason is because Sakaguchi is a fan. So.
Aside from that factoid, if I were to raise a theory, they were probably trying to go for the Dragon Ball effect, where, you know, Dragon Ball's an anime that, for the dub, got a lot of famous rock bands to do certain songs for episodes or the movies.
In the original English dub, before Funimation. Yeah.
So I could see them trying to also bring back that feeling, especially since, hey, it's a game literally using Akira Toriyama's artwork.
Hey, Dwebs, just to give you an idea, you remember Shizuki Kikuchi's music in Dragon Ball? Well, get this, in the English dub of some of the movies in DBZ, instead of that, they replaced it with some type of grunge rock. It's so unfitting.
It's the same thought process that they had for the Tekken OVA, where we commented it more recently last year, and yeah, again, you know, more common at the time, but it also had the unfortunate effect of, you know, licensing outside of, you know, being totally different.
It would be easy to blame this just on the localizers, but no, I have seen several points that suggest that that is legit what the Japanese thought that people in the West would want, essentially, for their dubs.
Right, again, they made problematic zero.
Yeah.
That's what they thought people wanted.
The Japanese people need to stop trying to guess what Westerners want and just make good games, and that's it.
On their own, yeah.
Or, you know, better survey what we actually want. Let's not forget, a lot of Capcom's Dark Age was
Jova, if the current state of the world is telling me anything, I get the idea not even the West knows what they want.
Yeah.
So again, Pedro's option is the best. Let Japanese developers be subservient to themselves.
Well, my point is that if they really want to go for what we do want, they needed to do better research. I mean, granted, to be fair, you have a point. There's so many differing opinions here and there, though I would argue there's probably enough with sense, but to be fair, even if there is a big enough group with sense, good luck trying to track them down and get a specific focus group of those people.
Because otherwise it would be just dismissed, you know, by other people as, you know, being biased towards that instead.
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, go on.
The thing that baffles me is, you already have a series that you know Westerners are a fan of. Why did you feel like you needed to change it so drastically if it was already loved in the first place?
Again, it might be tied also to Musketeers. Remember, it's the whole thing also why we got so many different gaming covers. The whole point about Kirby being angry, you know, in American covers, it's apparently because Nintendo, the Musketeers and Nintendo genuinely believe it would have attracted more people like that.
Now, I guess to be fair,
it's really just a matter of, you know, people in tuxedos in high buildings smoking cigars.
If I were to be fair, if there is a case where that did work out, it's Sonic.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
The American marketing not only boosted Sonic, it arguably saved that series from just being a blip in the Japanese game.
Because remember, in Japan, the game was didn't exactly, you know, set the world on fire, and the American marketing by Madeline Schroeder was a big part of why Sonic took off in the West. But
I should point out, however, though, that is mainly in the marketing, though. It's not like they changed up the actual game itself.
No, the game.
When they brought it over to the West.
Unfortunately, Joe, but that also created, of course, the dissonance. You know, like it was what they did what they needed for the game to be successful, but unfortunately, it did cause problems in the long run. But
Sega of Japan hated Sega.
Not even just that. You know, because of the fact that there's a separate incarnation of Sonic with Mobius and the Japanese version with Earth, right? There's this tug of war between people who prefer one and the other, but
they thankfully more or less merged them.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Sega Meanwhile, Sega of Europe are just looking at the two and like, why can't you guys just get along?
But
Yeah, be
but-
like us as we screw up our PC ports.
Just to add one more thing, Jova, and let's not forget, Jova, that quote from Henry Ford. If I asked people what they wanted, they'd say faster horses. Basically saying that, again, another way of saying that, it's kind of hard to predict what people actually want. So,
Yeah.
That is true.
all right. See you for the next part, everybody.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.